Welcome to another exhilarating episode of Comic Book Straight Talk, brought to you from the secret basement inside one of America's oldest comic shops, Tulsa's own The Comic Empire. Now, true believers, open up your ear holes and get ready to have your head filled with the best comic book knowledge this galaxy can handle. That's right, it's time for another nerd overload with Comic Book Straight Talk.
This is Terry.
Kenny.
Carrington.
I'm James. We got James.
I was just like,
Just James.
were you going to speak?
I was looking at the
Pretty bored.
monitor and I wasn't sure it was recording at first. So I was like, should I
That's what
speak?
listen to that. Last year we talked about, your question about, when's a good time to start and stop.
Last year? Has it been
Last
that
year?
long?
Last episode?
we talked about when is it a good time to start and stop and how to start and stop your comic book
Right.
addiction, really. I mean,
I was kind of debating. I've been kind of looking at different storage ideas and stuff for comics. And I was going to kind of get an idea of, obviously besides just a bag and a board, what special ways do you all store your books? I know
In a bag,
in a bag and a board in a box. Right. Well, but I know you actually in your house when you were building it had the closets specifically measured out and everything to put two boxes back to back or front and end, or are they for just the short box?
It's just for short boxes.
One short box. Okay.
well, I've seen a lot of.
That closet's full though.
Well, yeah.
I don't have any particular cool way to do it or anything. I've seen some really cool ways, and I probably need to try to adapt some of those to maximize space.
I've heard you just put yours under the bed. Put your bed on top of yours.
That's because of lack of space.
Lack of space. Well, I know we have Alan that has done that.
Well, Terry, you've got the bags that you wrap the boxes in and vacuum pack. Did those work out?
Have you tried it yet?
Were they a boondoggle?
I have not tried that. It's sitting on the counter, and we're going to do a video on that one of these days and give it a try and see how it works.
Well, he does make a good point. That is one way that people are protecting their bags and their stuff. And
when early on, I did shoot mine up into space for vacuum sealing and I would just look at them through the Hubble telescope.
Well, yeah. Then they denied your access on that. Yeah.
Then I no longer have access.
Well, I know, on the bag and a board, I understand that. But do you all just like Silver Age bags on current books?
I've went back and forth. At first, I liked the really tight fit of the current bag, and I do like that. But at the same time, I got tired of having to switch bags all the time from a Silver Age to a current and back. So then I just finally, for the most part, adopted Silver Age bags for all mine. And I kind of although I did like the more tight fit of the current, I do like having that extra bit of board around there for protection. Yeah.
I know I've gone back and forth on that way too. I've on silver or current, and I've gone years with current. I've gone years with silver. Now I'm back on silver now. But you do current, don't you?
Well, I used to do only silver, but it was for the point of having only one board and bag that I had to worry about.
Right. That's
So if you bought a Silver Age book, you had a board and a bag that would fit it. If you bought a modern book, it'd still fit in there. But no, then I started hanging out with you guys, and James, he comes up here and boards and bags his comics, and he uses modern, and I was like, I actually like the look of that better.
I do like that look, but I do also like to have that, like you were saying, that little bit of a, not an inch, but the little give in case I drop it and it hits the corner. I know it's not going to ding the book that much.
But then you also get more movement in the bag.
You can't get more movement.
You get more air into it.
Sometimes I get extra boards up here because you guys throw away perfectly decent boards. So some bags,
not
some
you
books,
guys, James.
Yeah,
and me.
So some books
yeah.
that don't necessarily warrant a MyLite, but are still decent books, I will add extra boards to it, so I get a little bit more thickness to it.
What to you warrants a MyLite or a MyLite 2 and a rigid, besides we've got the plain boards, and they've got the halfbacks, which are the same as normal boards from Gerber, and they've got the fullbacks, which are basically
My threshold is $50.
That's what I was going to say. Mine's basically about $50 and up is when I kind of like to put into a MyLite and a Gerber board.
Then you run into what was it, Betty and Veronica 261?
Right, we were talking about earlier.
So the book's been worth $2 for the last, 6 years, and now it's a $200 book.
Sure.
So do you go back and pull it out and put it back in a Mylar?
If I come across it and find it, yeah, I would. I mean, but yeah, I got what you're saying, but I mean, so when I go back, I'm just hoping it's still in nice condition.
Yeah,
and
but
for the most part, it should be in really nice condition. So
Austin and I were talking about this earlier, and I have books that have been in the same bag for 20 plus years.
Right.
It's still perfectly fine.
Right.
Sure.
So
yeah,
but it also, when you go to, say, maybe you have doubles of it and you go to resell it, it looks a lot nicer in that clean looking Mylar too.
well,
That's
yeah,
true,
that's
yeah.
what I've always said is,
I mean,
polyethylene to store them, polypropylene to sell them.
Yeah.
Or Mylite, even better.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, that makes the color pop
yeah,
even
that's
more.
when Jeff and I, when we were doing our shows a lot and real heavy, we learned that the Ultra Pro bags, they look real nice on a display. They just make the colors pop, and the Mylites do too. Mylite too. I know for me, if it's like a $40, $50 book, yeah, or if it's some significance, like it's a book that's signed, like I've got a Captain America signed by Byrne, that I have in a Mylite, or even and I've put in some of the nice covers though too, like the Harley Quinn Turner sketch covers, or even some of the nice art germ covers. I have one in a Mylite, and I'll have one in a regular bag and board.
I'll do that
They're
too.
your
Like,
books.
say if it's
Right, yeah. I mean,
Right.
yes, I agree.
But it's just one of those
yeah.
things that people debate online all the time.
it's a personal choice too. I mean, like you said, it may not. There are some books that I got that are not $50 books, but I really like them.
Right.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and put them in a Mylite or a Mylar or whatever.
This is your favorite story by your favorite author, and you buy it every time you see it.
Sure, like all my questions. I mean, I did have them in regular bags, but I've been switching them out to Mylites because it's my favorite series of all time.
Right.
So
Back to the bag seal up the box thing with the flooding and all recently.
Right, that we've had here in Oakland, Tulsa, or in Oklahoma, the surrounding area. I mean, think about all the places that people that may have had comics that they're flooded. I haven't heard of any reports. I mean, but yes, the sealing would take care of that, definitely.
There was a lot of flooding, so I'm sure
Guess you could almost
somebody that had some.
use them as a life raft in a way. Then I mean, floating on my comics. So,
I have a feeling they just sink.
probably.
What about, is there any particular brand of bag that you like? I can tell you brands of bags I don't like, and that's, although they're good bags.
Yeah.
Diamond bags are good bags.
Comic
Comic
defense. You don't like
defense.
comic
defense bags are good bags, but
Well, and Comic Hair the same way.
I can't stand the lip.
Yeah. When you
That
fold
lip,
over
when
the
you fold it
flap.
over, there's that lip that kind of folds over.
I
And
like
it never folds just right.
no.
And do we really know what what is the purpose of that lip? Has anybody really said?
I think it's just their tolerances when they make them.
Could be.
Because sometimes you get like a quarter of an inch of that lip, and sometimes it's a half inch of that lip. I just think it's their tolerances, because Dow gave me those Ultra Pro Silver Age bags, and I got the Comic Defense boards and put one in it, and it was taller and more narrow than the Ultra Pro bag. So
Really?
I think it's just Comic Defense's,
Just the way they've set it up, and
their tolerances that they allow.
I use standard BCW board or bags, and I'll use the Gerber for just everyday books, the halfbacks.
I like BCW is a good brand.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like BCW the best, but
And Ultra Pro's
They're-
good too, though. I mean,
they're modern.
It was decent.
Their modern size boards and bags are, the board fits in there really tight. Sometimes you got to sit there and tap it up and down to get the book to go all the way down, but I still think they're the best quality bag.
yeah.
I do have to have some. I don't have a lot of Golden Age books, but I do have some. But I like to keep not a lot, but I like to keep some Golden Age bags and boards around, because there are some Silver Age bags or Silver Age Silver Age books.
Right.
I'll get to it eventually. Silver Age books, they won't fit in a Silver Age bag.
Well,
Even
but
the,
BCW,
even the thicker ones, I've noticed. I've picked up some of those. They still wouldn't fit in it.
the
so
BCW thicks.
Mhm.
Wow.
There were a few that,
You
not all, but a
guys
few.
tried any of BCW's Mylar products?
I have not.
I have not. I've been meaning to.
I haven't. I may have.
Seen the E. Gerber ones, but I know that BCW sells them.
I think Sean's carried them over at Mammoth briefly, and I think I picked up something there.
Now, has anybody picked up the clear backing boards?
Yes.
He has.
Yeah.
And from which company did you pick those up from?
I think from both companies there was a Extreme or X something, and I think they've gone out of business.
I think I picked
there's
mine up
more than
from
one company, though.
Yeah, because one of the companies that does it, their website was down, and their Facebook page hadn't been updated in years.
I think that's the one I got mine from.
There's one that you can get through Amazon that you can still get.
There's a company I wanted to say it was Skin something or another as well.
Okay, that's the first one I think that did it.
So I
think that's who
I
I
think
got
that's
then.
the second one. I think there's may still be.
I got it. I saw it on Facebook.
How did you like those? Are they
I
nice?
like them.
As a dealer, I love
those.
They're my price point on those is $1 a piece, $10 for a pack of 10. I've seen them sell for $20 for a pack of 10, and that's a little much for me.
What's the thickness on them? Are they?
They're the same thickness of a
They're
board,
probably a little thicker than a standard backboard. They're maybe like a half back, and then they've got film on the front and back that you peel off right before you use it, so it doesn't get scratched up.
Right. And I use mine on my $100 and above books. You know, where people want, or
I would use it on wraparound covers.
I do it on wraparound covers, and I've gotten a few wraparound sketch covers where they've sketched on the back, and I'll use it for those.
I
like
those.
Or sometimes I'll get a modern age board, put it in the middle of the book, and then stick it in a Silver Age bag.
Yeah. There's a dealer in Texas. What is that dealer in Texas? He has that shop. He's got a really nice shop. He's the guy, the kind of gruff kind of guy.
Titan
Comics. He
Jeremy?
does almost all of his bags, almost all of his comic books with a board in the middle.
That's where I learned it from. Long ago, I had some books at the shop I was selling them, and I actually had boards in the middle. And Mike's like, someone had asked Mike, why is he doing that? It's like, well, so you can see both sides, but it kind of weakens the spine.
Yeah, I was always.
Does it weaken the spine, or does it support the spine? I'm not sure.
It actually, and eventually will weaken the spine.
Because
I didn't know that.
It would smack the spine into the bag and into anything beside.
And that's why I stopped it. So
because
I had that
I
conversation.
See where
with Mike.
it might also mess with the staples.
Yeah, well, I wasn't using a modern though. I was using a Silver Age board, so in it. But
yeah, I've thought about doing that, and when I go to do it, whether it is wrong or not, it feels wrong, and so I usually just chicken out.
Well, what about? Does anybody use the acetate paper?
No, I haven't gone that far yet.
Or acetate?
I've done the clear board
tape.
No, not
Neither
that
of
far.
those?
No, I haven't. But I mean,
I've thought about getting some of the acetate for some really more expensive books. Not the tape, but the ones you put in the throughout your book. You're supposed to put like one in the
archival
front,
paper.
Archival paper. Okay. One in the middle and like one towards the end or something like that.
Pulls the acid out of it, or neutralizes it or something.
On those clear ones, they're really nice for shows because you got people wanting to see this book all the time. They're not having to open it up and look at it. They can see everything. So that's one thing I haven't used them on my personal stuff yet, though. So.
Well, and if you had like a high dollar book, you could put one in front and in back, and then put it in a bag, and then it'd be double protected from people doing crazy stuff. If you had a really high dollar book.
What about just regular boxes?
Yes.
Just regular corrugated comic defense boxes. I know.
I like the comic defense boxes the best. I think that's the one thing they do
I
the
think
best.
they are the best.
I said doo-doo.
You said doo-doo.
I think they're the most sturdy of the
You've lost Carrington.
boxes. There are some other boxes that I use because they are cheaper.
Right.
And they last pretty well, but no, I do agree that the comic defenses are the most sturdy. I'm not sure about the lids, though. The lids may be about the same. but definitely the box itself are sturdy.
I like the BCW because they're a little cheaper and they're a little longer, and you can get about 20, 30 more books in.
Now, I know
but in terms of ruggedness, the Comic Defense.
I know there are some. I think there used to be back several years ago. There used to be a debate on the boxes that when you put dividers in. On some boxes, I think the BCWs, the dividers come to the top.
Yeah.
But on the Comic Defense, the dividers stick up a little bit.
Yes.
And so I know some people were like, well, I can't do those boxes because they don't protect the dividers, and the dividers all crunch over. And I was like, okay.
All you got to do
I don't like the dividers.
I don't
all you got to do is cut your dividers at the bottom, make them lower.
That's true, yeah.
Now, BCW has made new dividers where the top is kind of hinged.
Okay.
So if it does catch the board, it's meant to bend over.
Okay, cool.
And then snap back up when
the box is lit up.
Take the lid.
Well, I know that we've had the gray boxes back several years ago that were the acid-free corrugated cardboard.
I see. There's Randy from here in Oklahoma. He usually sets up with those. He has some of those, yeah.
And I know that.
And there's a smell to them too. Like,
is this the corrugated? Is this the plastic ones, or is this you're talking about I'm talking about just like there used to be like gray boxes.
Yeah, these gray boxes, and they actually have a bit of a moth-like smell to them. It's really weird.
Mothball.
Yep, like a mothball smell to them.
And I know that they've done plastic boxes, but I know plastic.
Moth-like,
I know.
Mothra.
But BCW, and I know James, you picked up some, and I think I have a couple. The hard shelled kind of
milk crate looking.
Yeah. Well, the crate. Yeah, the black ones. The black ones. Yeah.
They got short boxes and long boxes now, and
now they have ones that'll hold.
I owe you something for a black box, don't I? I need to.
Yes, you do. Because I have not seen a transaction. I have not seen a transaction.
Well, yeah, he hasn't even given me the boxes.
Yeah, I have.
Did you give me the boxes?
Yes.
Did I pay you for them already?
No.
Yes.
I did.
I haven't witnessed a transaction.
The one for the
graded book.
The graded.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
I've got them at my house.
Yes. You're missing out on an opportunity.
You are. Like I haven't.
Sleazy retailer.
We haven't witnessed this transaction. So
I don't know where I put that in.
Yes, I gave you that, and
okay.
Yeah, that happened months ago.
Because I've got two of them for my show stuff, but I mean, I just.
Well, I must have that around the house. I need to find that and put it together and put some books in it. Maybe I did. Now that I think about it, now I think about it, I did. Yes, I did.
Now, won't a magazine box work for graded comics?
They do, but they stick up a little bit. But unless you lay them on the side. But.
Now, do you put the bags around the graded comic slabs?
Do you use MyLights around your graded comic slabs?
I did buy some BCW bags. They're not Mylar, but that
for your slabs?
Resealable ones to put the slabs in.
Right.
I actually need a few of those. I have a couple of slabs without bags on them.
I don't really rebag my slabs. When I get them in, which is very rarely. I don't do slabs that much, unless it's for a personal book. But I'll just keep the bag that it came in, so that way. I mean, I figure it's already protected, but
because a lot of
people don't want to.
The books that I get, those bags are pretty
flimsy,
pretty beaten up.
Yeah. I have in the past, a couple of them have put some MyLights in, but when I was at a show and I was selling them, but
And with them sealing, you don't have to worry about the slab falling out or losing the bag.
Right. Yeah, mine's just like a normal bag. It's just you tape it over it. Only it's a MyLight. I think it's a MyLight 1 or so. But
what about top loaders? I'm not a fan, but some people are.
I'm a fan of them at shows because they're easier just to take down and store. Your shit in show stuff. I'll use them but at personal use, no.
Well, if you get a top loader, you got to be careful with how you store them. Especially, you can't store them with other books that are not in top loaders, because if you're pulling the top loader in and out, it's got a lot of sharp edges around it. It can definitely cut the book behind it or in front of it.
Screw the book, man. I've cut myself several times pulling books out of a top loader.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, the regular normal layers around the top loader.
You don't care about me, no. You about the books, yeah.
So,
yeah.
You got to be careful with top loaders.
You do.
I mean, I think they are good, and for certain books.
I don't understand a Mylar. A top-loading Mylar, because I know
top-loading Mylars.
Because people
just have the edges. They're open.
Yeah, the open one. Because people put books in those with no bag or no board, and I'm just like, that's just asking for something to spill on.
And those edges are sharp.
I see a lot of people will bag and board them, then put them in the top in
the Mylar.
Those open Mylars. I don't get those either. I don't care for those at all. No, definitely not. So, Kenny, how's your feeling on open Mylars?
No.
No.
I have some because I got those Vampirella Masterpiece cards that are like the size of a comic.
Those would be good, yeah.
I couldn't find anything to put them in a binder, so Mike had a bunch of them out here and he sold them to me for like, I don't know, $4 or something. So I just took a hole punch and punched holes in them and then slid the cards in them. And
there you go.
But no, I don't mess with them for comics.
Yeah,
they're a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I guess apparently
pain in the butt to flip through it at a booth as well.
Yeah,
I actually don't mind them flipping through them at a booth so much.
It akins to me sort of like a bag and a board that's not taped down.
Yeah,
they're not quite as bad as that.
Yeah,
but it's sort of like that. So it does make it a little bit harder to.
But what I've found is people that put them in the top loader Mylars, usually their stuff is in order, so I don't mind it.
Yeah.
If they're not taping down their boards and bags, they're probably not in order either.
And one good thing about it, when you're at somebody that doesn't tape down their bags and boards and they're all open, a lot of people don't flip through them because they're hard to flip through.
Yeah.
So you can sometimes find a gem in there.
Yeah.
Well, what about other than boxes? I mean, our friend Mike Redmond uses
filing
cabinets.
Yeah.
Some people that have had special cabinets made with these nice plexiglass things that are, down in front of it, so you can see that first book.
A lot of people bought out
really nice.
the Hastings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen people get
cabinets,
get file cabinets like that. Yeah.
If I had, I would like to switch. If I had the room, I would and I knew that I was never going to move it. The filing cabinets would be awesome.
Yeah, because I've seen people file them sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the long ones that pull out, they file them sideways. And I've seen some people file them normal.
I know some people use dressers.
Yeah,
sure.
They'll get the wide filing cabinets and then do 3 or 4 rows.
Right.
It makes getting to your comics actually a little bit easier for the most part.
But I know there are a couple of people in here that bought old dressers and then just put a board and halfway back in the drawer, and they just do 2 rows in the dresser drawers.
That'd work as well.
Cool. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that either. If the dresser's deep enough.
Comic boxes.
Yeah, me too.
Short boxes still. No long boxes.
I've done long boxes, and it's nicer for space. But man, you move a couple times using long boxes. That sucks.
Well, and you can stack short boxes higher than you can stack long boxes. Right. Long boxes, man, you really don't want to go more than 2 high with those.
And as you get older, like me, your knees start to give out.
Yeah,
we're all right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, unless we're gonna make Carrington carry them all now.
Carrington has to carry all the long boxes now.
I don't do long boxes because Fat Boy's lazy.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you have a dolly, you can put 4 up to back 4 up on a dolly, and wheel them out real easily.
And it's not as heavy as a bunch of long boxes on a dolly. Definitely.
Yeah,
Plus,
like an 8.
It just seems to me that the short boxes, you don't get as much of the curl in a book. Even when you board and bag them, if you don't have the box stuffed full, they start to curl because of gravity, and it just...
Well, no, you used to do 2 books in a bag and a board.
Yeah.
You still do that?
No.
Okay.
I mean...
I was doing that to save space so I could get it all in my closet, but now it's overrun my house, so... I don't mess with it anymore.
I used to do it as a combination, not only to save space, but to save money.
Yeah. Right. But I will do it with runs. Like
I can see that. Still,
the Ballant Catwoman run, none of those are worth money. So there's no point in...
Now, when you did do it, did you use 1 board or 2 boards?
Just 1.
So because one side is supposed to not be acid free and the other one's not.
No, that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I know. So
the problem I had when I did try to do that was the numbers would never work out.
Yeah, because you see all the odd numbers and you're like, do I have the even numbers? Wait a minute.
Or you get a variant in there. So you think
it would always it was always a little screwy.
You have to have them all in order before you board and bag them.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
or you had to at least know that, okay, I'm 33, so I need to leave.
But like I said, if there was a variant or they did a, like Marvel's been doing a 0.1 or anything like that, then your numbering's all, and then you're unbagging it. Well, no, how do I want this in there now?
Yeah.
I just gave up.
Yeah, I did too.
Everyone gets its own.
No, the thing that throws me off is you get Red Sonja, Vampirella meets Betty and Veronica. Well, where do you file that?
Okay, that's my next question. Okay, that led me to my next question I was going to have. Where do you file those under?
Well, Red is the first word, so it should go under Red Sonja.
Uh-huh.
But I'm a bigger Vampirella fan, so I would probably file it under Vampirella.
Well, like your Grimm Fairy Tales, Robin Hood, Hellsing, Hellchild, are those under Grimm Fairy Tales, Robin Hood, or are they under Robin Hood? Or?
Well, with Zenoscope, I just keep it all together.
Well, right, but I mean, do you put it in that? Because I have a box of Zenoscope.
No, I put them in order. So, like, the first one in the box is Belle.
Okay.
So
I'm like, the
last one is Zodiac.
Because I know some people file Uncanny X-Men under Uncanny instead of X-Men.
No, I put it under X-Men.
That's like when the all-new Wolverine came out. It was under Wolverine.
Yeah. But a lot of people will put it under all.
Right, exactly.
I think that's going to be different for everybody.
Right. You put Web of Spider-Man under W, or with all the other Spider-Man.
You put it under Web. You put it at the end of the Spider-Mans.
Like my Punisher. I'm a Punisher fan. I like Amazing Spider-Man, but he had a bunch of appearances in Amazing Spider-Man, so all my Punisher appearances go in the back of the Punishers.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that like, say, Catwoman shows up in Flash. Well, I have like 4 Flashes in my collection, so I will put that under Catwoman.
Right.
I'll just put it at the back of the Catwoman.
So, but like, say like Nightfall.
Yeah.
50 issues.
Yeah.
The story goes from book to book, but it jumps all over the place. So if you're stacking them to read, you'd want them in the order that you're supposed to read them. If you're stacking them as a collector, you want the Catwomans with the Catwomans and the detectives with the detectives. And how do you...
Yeah.
You file them under their title and then download it.
Well, I was going to ask. You said the Red Sonja, Vampirella, Betty, and Veronica. Did you buy one of each and file each one, like one under Red?
No, the only time I've ever done that was with Catwoman, Vampirella. I bought 2 copies, put one under Catwoman, one under Vampirella, and then I bought one that was signed.
There you go.
But there was like Batman Spawn and Spawn Batman.
They both go under Batman.
I'm going to Batman.
See, I don't know. I would put one under Batman, one under Spawn. So,
and then
you're wrong.
And then the amalgam books.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, there's so many.
All one-offs.
What I did was I put all of those together under amalgam.
Right.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
I don't have enough amalgams. I just have, I think about mainly the Batman-related ones, so they all are under Batman, miscellaneous Batman.
When I originally ordered them, I ordered that main crossover series, the 2 Batmans, and then there's one that was like Catwoman and Elektra or something, like Assassins or something.
Yeah.
And then there was one other one that I got just because I thought it looked cool. And then I picked up the rest of them in Mike's half-off sale. And so when I went to file them, I just put them all under amalgam. Because even the main mini-series was DC versus Marvel, Marvel versus DC, Marvel versus DC, DC versus Marvel. So
see, that whole...
Where does your Titans X-Men book go? Which is actually a great read.
Is it?
Titans
I have
X-Men.
never read
Very
that.
good.
I have never, in all my 30 years of collecting comics, 30 roughly.
Isn't it Uncanny X-Men meet the new Teen Titans?
Yeah.
I think it is, something like that.
I think I put it under Uncanny.
Because
Again,
you started first.
I have minimal Teen Titans. I maybe have 15 Teen Titans books. So I just file them with the X-Men because that's the reason I bought it.
I mean, it was Claremont at the height of his game, and Perez at the height of his game.
Say, all of them really at the height.
I mean, it was pretty good.
It's been a long time since I've read it, but I remember
Darkseid
really
was in it, and had Deathstroke working for him, and Dark Phoenix, and it was interesting.
I can't believe you haven't read it after all
I know,
these
right?
years. You've never read that.
I've never read it, so I'm gonna have to take a cue from Kenny and download it and read it.
And it has one of my favorite lines: the Starfire absorbs languages by touch, and Colossus says something in Russian, and so she smooches him. And Nightcrawler goes up to her and says, "Fräulein, sprechen Sie Deutsch?" I thought that was an awesome line.
Well, hopefully we've given you some ideas on how to different supplies and stuff, and
more than likely we've confused them.
Probably.
Now, are you still using the little green label dots, or have you gone back to tape?
He uses painter tape.
I've been using tape here recently because I ran out of dots, but I do like the dots better because they're not as sticky. But yeah, I like the dots, and
So why don't you just use Post-it notes?
I don't know. I've thought about that. I have been working slowly on doing mine with a dot system.
Yeah.
And every different colored dot means something different. Like one colored dot would be a key appearance. So if I'm flipping through my comics and I see that red dot, say, I know that each of those books are key appearances. Another one would be.
So you're using the dot on the front of the book.
Yeah, it'd be on
top.
Up towards the top.
Because originally you were doing it at the back and to secure them.
That's just for securing them, but I'm also doing a labeling system. And then a lot of people have done this too. I mean, and then let's say I use another dot, a green dot would mean that it's a signed book.
What if you had a red dot with a green dot on top of it?
Well, that way.
Or would you put two?
You would have two dots. You'd have a red dot and a green dot, meaning that
it's a key issue
that's signed.
Well, he could just get a regular size red dot and then get the smaller green dot, put it right in the middle.
So I've often thought about.
Look like a nipple then.
How am I going to help?
Great. That's all right. This
Sorry.
is wow.
How I'm gonna help Carrington when she gets my comics, because I can tell you right now, she's not going through each one of those looking them up on eBay.
Well, she's got time to change.
Yeah, I don't see her putting forth that much effort. But I don't want her, selling them to one of you guys for $50 either.
No.
Well, now.
No, you wouldn't do that too.
No.
You could give her at least 100.
Yeah.
But
maybe 2.
I've thought about getting some of those stars, like they put on kids' papers at school.
This gets a golden star.
Yeah, not necessarily any color coding.
No,
just
I know.
put the star on the bag, and so she knows. Don't sell this for $1.
Right. So no star books sell for $1. Star books you can sell for higher. Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, it beats Mike's rule. Superheroes under 25 cents. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's a good thing. I would like to eventually, once I get all mine labeled and everything, I'd actually like to get them in a database. Yeah. I know James has done some of that, putting it into a database.
Well, he does that for his show stuff too. I noticed, which is actually I've seen some of that. That's really nice.
I'd like to do it for my private collection.
A lot of work.
Oh, I bet.
Because it would also help. And although I don't pick up a lot of doubles, there's sometimes I have to think, do I have this or not? And most of the time I'm usually right, but there's been a couple of times where I've picked up a double and didn't need to.
But it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Anything to do with comics is a lot of work.
Yeah. I used to hate bagging and boarding, but now I'm to the point where I'll on a Sunday I'll throw on some whatever movie's on or something. I'll just sit there and bag and board. It's a movie I've seen multiple times, so if I'm not missing anything.
So my problem is the taping.
Yeah.
Because I can't hold the book straight up and tape it. It doesn't
I gotta
work
lay
for
mine.
me.
I use the folding the tables. TV trays. Thank you. I was like, I did the hands all over the place. And so they actually fit perfect right in there. You just kind of do that. So
See, I want to make a machine that you...
Oh, God, we're going into this again?
You're going to anger Terry. You won't like him when he's angry.
You put the comic, and you got the comic that's in the bag with the board in it, and you just put it in the machine folds it over and tapes the top. I think that would be wonderful.
Until
Terry has a seizure just thinking about it.
Well, one time,
it's going to eat my $1,000
you put a $1,000 book in there.
But you don't put a $1,000 book in that.
Actually, he has a point. You know the old folding machines that will fold like 2-fold or 3-fold? You could modify something like that just to push it down.
You hook a long box to it, and it's just shooting them out.
Hey, you know what?
Just like a collating.
Yeah. Look into that. You know what? 7 or 8, 9 years ago, I had an idea of a clear plastic backing board. I was like, man, they need clear boards. And lo and behold, 2 or 3 years ago, we got them. So see?
Yeah, I think that'd be scary. Just having like a long box. It's just shooting those comics through there, bagging and boarding them.
Well, no, it's just putting it down and taping and moves it through. I mean, you can...
Pulls off two strips of tape, cuts them off.
No, I think he's talking about it. Shooting a bag and a board in there, you know.
No, you didn't listen.
No, you put the...
You put
the book in the bag and board.
That's a good. You bag and board them. You just slide it in the machine, you put it to the end of the machine, it goes...
No.
You pull it out.
But you wouldn't put a $1,000 book in there. You'd put whatever came out this week through there.
I could do that. I would.
Besides, if you get a $1,000 book, you need to be putting that sucker in a Mylar, not...
Exactly.
True.
And at my house.
And at your house, yeah.
So I'll have part of your collection, you know. What was it that he has one? He has one of your books, or you have one of his books?
No, he finally got his own.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
It's still my book, though.
He claimed that my Wolverine #1 signed by Claremont was his.
Yes, that's right.
Because Mike got in 1 through 4, signed by Claremont, and I bought #1, and Terry bought 2 through 4, and he kept...
You were an ass.
He kept giving me a hard time because I got the #1.
So I just claimed his. I was just letting him store it at his house.
But now he's got his own.
I did.
Signed by Claremont?
Signed by Claremont.
There you go. So, yeah. All right, so let's... we've given you some ideas and
confused you,
and James is, if you can come up with that machine, he'd be happy to
giving Terry a seizure.
Happy to what's the word? Work out the kinks for it. Test it, demo it.
R&D,
research and development.
Prototype.
Beta test. Yes. Next show we're going to do our
No
Awards show. That'll be in a couple weeks.
No Awards.
Yeah.
Dedicated to Noah, Noah Ward.
That's right. There you go. Be looking for that. That'll be out in a couple weeks. Will be the next episode we do. So, anything else you got?
Nope. I have nothing.
You have nothing?
No.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
I guess this will be going up tomorrow. So.
Yeah. You're working on a con. Can you tell us anything about that?
I can't really go into details too much right now because we're still about 7 or 8 months out from it. So, but once it's finalized and everything, we'll be happy to talk about it.
It was a secret. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, thanks, Terry.
Well, you can always edit this out, I guess.
That's all right. No, we are working on a con in Tulsa. Be a little one day con. So.
Carrington finished JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Did you? Was it a Bizarre Adventure?
Yes.
Now, what's this?
I
was trying to wrap up.
She's moved on, and I got her to watch Inuyasha. So now she's into Inuyasha.
Did you know they made a video game for JoJo's Bizarre Adventures?
Yes, I did.
It's on Sega Dreamcast. I found that at a garage sale.
Don't go buy a Sega Dreamcast for it.
It's an expensive game.
Now, what's this Legend of Shield Hero?
Rising
of the Shield Hero.
Are you watching it? Did you watch it?
No, she
didn't
watch
watch
it.
Okay.
No, it's I got up to I finished the first series of Rise of the Shield Hero.
It's still going.
I know it's still going, but I got up to where
this far.
They finally acknowledged that he didn't do all these crimes, and finished up that storyline basically.
Right.
And so there's a couple after that that have been put out, but they haven't been put out in dubbed version yet,
right.
at least that I can find. So I haven't been able to watch the, 21, 22, 23, 24 maybe?
22 and 23, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
How is the dubbed on it?
Dubbed's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. The voices are pretty good.
And that series has just been surrounded by all kinds of controversy because, the fake, the princess makes the fake accusation against the shield hero that he raped her, and then I guess the original voice of the shield hero was supposed to be Vic Mignogna.
Vicky boy.
Vic Mignogna, who was also accused of...
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
He got
not accused of raping, but...
Of unwanted sexual advances and assault.
And he's actually suing over that for defamation.
But it was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, there's some stuff about it that's definitely a typical anime that's kind of silly and goofy. But I think
just about anything with Philo was
anything with Philo was a little goofy and silly, but it didn't hurt the story as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually still liked Philo and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought her whole character turning into the bird and stuff. Yeah, it's silly, but it was still done well. I liked it.
Yeah.
I am thinking of
I'm pretty picky about animes.
Yes, you are very picky.
Well, because when I told you and James about it at the pizza place, and then 2 days later you're like, I finished Rising of the Shield Hero. I was like, wow, you must have really liked it.
They're short watches, really.
Yeah, they are. The first episode's 45 minutes, and then the rest of them are 20 minutes. Yeah. So they go by quick.
Yeah.
Cool.
I really enjoyed it. I was really a couple of things. I was irritated that the Shield Hero got crapped on so much, but I was also irritated with the Shield Hero himself because he didn't do anything to help himself. And he let it really change him, and he didn't, because when this character didn't seem like he was going to go down that path. But when they crapped on him, he turned into this really sour, bitter guy.
Yeah.
And he's changed a little as he's went along, but not much.
Well, don't you get sour and bitter when people crap on you?
Yes.
Yes. There are people that pay good money for that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's for a whole other show. I'm actually going to
give a website for that.
Here it is. I'm going to give My Hero Academia. Right? That's it, right? Okay. I am actually going to give that a shot and watch it. So it is dubbed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
Is it Dragon Ball Z animation?
Do it.
Or is it like Inuyasha animation? Style-wise.
I've been meaning to give the...
It's more modern than Inuyasha.
Okay. Because I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z style. It's all the blurred lines and all that, and the scratchy lines.
It's got some speed lines in it, but not a lot.
Okay. But yeah, I'm going to give that a shot.
Because one of the guys in there, his power is super speed. So.
I've been meaning to give the one that she liked about the cat. My friend the cat or something.
Oh, My Roommate's a Cat.
I've been meaning to give that a shot, but I haven't got around to it yet.
I just like that show because you get to see it from both
perspectives. Right, that's what I thought was
you know?
interesting, seeing the perspective of, I guess, the guy and the perspective of the cat. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
And sometimes they'll switch it, and the first half will be from the perspective of the cat, and then the second half will be perspective of the guy.
So what did you say that you've gotten Carrington to watch?
Inuyasha.
I think I've seen that maybe or heard about it.
About he's a fox demon, or is he the dog?
Kensei? Is he a Kensei demon? Or
Don't remember.
Well, I know he's half demon, half human.
Right.
But
I think maybe it is the fox, and the fox is the
Yeah. But she likes how the two, even though they're obviously in love with each other, constantly bickering back and forth. She thinks that's funny.
That was like the Japanese one on that Love, Death, and Robots with the fox mystic creature.
Yeah, that one was good. That was probably the best one out of all of them. Well, that and the Three Robots.
And the Netflix show was good. Yeah. Another thing with my the Rise of the Shield Hero, you have Philo, and then you have Raphtalia.
Rafiki?
No.
Raphtalia.
And they're always sort of fighting over the hero, they want to be the hero's love interest, sort of.
Yeah.
Although
I don't think Philo does.
Philo, well, there was one time where she was saying, where she was getting onto Raftalia with, she was speaking with, Melty. And she's like, oh, Raftalia was getting all kissy with him and everything, and he's going, and Raftalia was saying, no, I wasn't, So
I think there's a little bit of jealousy. Voices now for, And this anime, this could be...
Raftalia was interesting. It's kind of interesting because she starts out as a young kid, but apparently the age at a really weird rate. Just like all of a sudden, boom, they become adults.
So they explained it in one episode that those people that are the half animal, half people,
demi-humans,
yeah, that they age differently because their age is dependent upon their mentality or something like that. And so she was always a little girl because she couldn't take up for herself, and by him teaching her how to fight and taking up for herself, she grew up. And
that's the same with Philo as well, although I guess she ages even slower probably.
Yeah.
Because she has a smaller mentality, or?
No, she's like those birds are like almost like dragons.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So most of the birds stay birds, but occasionally one will be born that can switch back and forth between a bird and a human, and that almost got him in trouble too.
Yeah. And you didn't like Ranma?
Rama, no, I never liked Rama one half. Well, also, they don't do a lot. They did do a few, but they don't do a lot of peanut faces in.
Okay.
Yeah, peanut face.
I'm not a fan of peanut face.
No.
So they did a few times with Philo, and I was a little surprised when they did it because I don't think they'd done it till then.
Yeah.
So that one time that they did do it,
but that would match Philo's character though.
Yeah. And I don't think they did it any time after that either. I think there's just that one time. I mean, I could be wrong, but I do definitely remember that one time. It was like, oh wow, they did peanut face, and I haven't seen that in the rest of it.
If anyone else did, it would have been the princess.
Yeah.
I can't remember mine or whatever.
Yeah, she might have done it. Yeah, I don't remember when. Yeah,
because he was always frustrating her.
She was. Yeah, she's
a bitch.
And that's that's what she became known as.
Yep.
That was a very weird
named. Yes, name changed.
That was a weird ending.
Yeah.
For that particular segment. But
yeah.
All right.
It's a good anime.
All right then. So
went from short boxes,
long
keeping
boxes,
comics to anime.
Anime. Well, that's fine. That's I come up with the main topic sometimes, and we just add on and stuff.
You could even split this into 2 shows.
You could.
We could, yeah. All right, so like I said, check out Legend of the Shield Hero.
Rising
of the Shield Hero.
It's been changed to Legend, folks. So, yeah, Rise of the Shield Hero, and check out Inuyasha. It's been out for a while, but give it a shot.
Tell us how you store and collect your comics.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to get the words to come out, and they weren't coming out.
Yeah.
And like I said, next episode will be our no awards.
Awards.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this is Dalian.
Terry.
Kenny.
Carrington.
James.
And we'll see you later.
See you later.